story you are about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
This is the city. Los Angeles, California. I work here. I'm a cop. It was Monday, April 20th. It was windy in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of traffic division, hit and run felony detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Calfee. My name's Friday. An aching wisdom tooth had kept me awake most of the night. I had an appointment with a dentist, and I was trying to stop the pain until then. I wasn't having much luck. "8:33 a.m. Frank and I drove out to 63rd in Vermont and rechecked the spot where the dead body of Edward Stokes had been found. According to the report, the body was found 2 feet west of the easterly curb and 32 feet north of 63rd Street on Vermont. We examined the skid marks closely. They showed definite signs of being a lot older than 24 hours. The consistency of the rubber was weak, and there were heavy dirt smudges over them, indicating more wear than they could have possibly had since the estimated time of the victim's death. We got back in the car and drove to the Emerald Hills Funeral Home at Vernon and Denver Avenue. It's a nickel an hour, you got one? Used to be pennies.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Did you ever notice this about funeral homes?
What's that?
Well, they put awnings over the windows, but they never open the drapes.
Yeah.
Did you ever wonder about that?
No, not particularly. Sounds like a funeral going on, doesn't it?
Yeah. Still hurt?
Yeah, a little bit.
Still swole, too.
Yes, sir. May I be of service, gentlemen?
Police officers. We'd like to talk to a Mr. Larimore. I understand he's a deputy coroner.
Yes, I'm Larimore. You came about the hit-and-run victim.
Yes, sir, that's right. This is Officer Smith. My name's Friday. We'd like to check the body if we could.
Certainly.
I understand you moved the body from the scene of the accident here to the mortuary?
Yes, that's right. Early this morning. Unusual case.
Why do you say it's unusual, Larimore?
Well, here. I've got it on the report. You can see for yourself later.
Yes, sir.
The victim's knee has a single clean cut. Also the wounds on the head. I've never seen any like them in hit-and-run cases I've been called on.
You don't think the victim could have been killed by a hit-and-run car, is that it?
No, I don't say that. It's possible that it might have been a car. Well, let's say it's not very probable.
I see. Has anyone at all inquired about the body, Larimore?
No one, no.
It's funny.
Would you excuse me for a moment, please? I have to check down the hall. I'll be right back. Be right back. You can see the body then if you like.
Thank you.
Well,
Yeah,
where do we start?
I don't know. Maybe we won't have to.
What do you mean?
Well, another lead like this, and we'll turn it over to homicide.
Officer, there's a young lady outside, Miss Fuller.
Yes, sir?
She wants to claim the body.
Thanks.
Would you like to go on, Miss Fuller? What happened after you broke up the argument between Stokes and the other man?
Same old thing. Eddie threatened to beat me up. He's done it before, too, plenty of times.
Yeah.
Well, around 1 o'clock, I got to feeling sick, so I went outside and sat in the car. Guess I must have passed out there.
In your car?
No. Well, I guess it belonged to one of the fellas in the bar. I passed out, that's all I remember.
Well, did you sleep in the car all night?
No. I guess whoever owned it drove me home.
Well, how'd they know where you lived?
I don't know. Must have been one of our friends. I don't remember anything till this morning. They phoned me up and said Eddie was dead.
Who phoned you, Miss Fuller?
One of our friends. I don't remember. Oh, I had a rotten headache.
Now, come on, you can do a little better than that, can't you?
I tell you, I don't remember. I had a hangover. My head was jumping. They phoned and told me Eddie was dead. Somebody ran Eddie down. They found him in a gutter and he was dead. Poor Eddie.
All right, Miss Fuller. Wonder if you'd mind coming with us.
Where are we going?
Downtown. We'll have a stenographer take your statement. We have a few more questions to ask you.
Oh, look, can't you leave me alone? I got a terrible hangover. I never had one as bad as this before.
Neither is Eddie. Come on, let's go. On the way back to the office, we stopped at a drugstore and I picked up a box of aspirin. The wisdom tooth was giving me trouble again. The clerk at the soda fountain fixed something for Marion Fuller's hangover. We continued to question her, but she gave us only one additional piece of information. The victim, Eddie Stokes, had been married before and divorced. His ex-wife lived out in the valley with their 2 children, and on several occasions she came to see Stokes at the Vermont Avenue bar when he failed to make the monthly payments for the support of the children. Each time they had argued bitterly. We had a police stenographer take the Fuller woman's statement, and then she was released. 10:45 a.m. Sergeants Rogers and McClendon were assigned to check out the Vermont Avenue bar where Stokes had last been seen alive. The stories were almost identical. Each of them remembered seeing Eddie Stokes at the bar. Each of them remembered he was playing shuffleboard, that he was drinking heavily, that he left the bar at about 1:45 a.m. All of us had the idea that for some reason the bartender and the customers were lying. In most cases, it's hard to find 2 witnesses who tell identical stories, let alone 7. For the rest of the afternoon, Rogers, McClendon, Frank, and I spent our time canvassing the neighborhood in the vicinity of the Brown Barrel Tavern. 4:45 p.m., we checked the proprietor of a small butcher shop 2 blocks down the street from the tavern.
Yes, sir, gentlemen. Can I help you?
Police officers, you Mr. Murray?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Sure, glad to help if I can.
You ever been in the Brown?
Has there been a fight?
Yeah, that time. He came back a couple minutes later and whispered the same thing. You better get out of here. There's been a fight, he said. Wife and I just laughed at him.
I see.
He said, I know all about it. Guy's been murdered.